What up, world? Welcome to an episode of the Brand Janeau Show. As you know, I am Brand Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, Brand Janeau Show, social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Brand Janeau Show, and of course, YouTube channel is where you can find this video, live in action, man. I hope you guys enjoy this episode tonight. It is I Bleed Sports. Um, it's late. It's a late episode. I'm not gonna sit there and lie like it's not a late episode. It's a late episode. But yeah, life was life in this weekend. Yeah. But I'm here. Let's get into it, man. So, I believe sports, man. A lot of things been going on this week, man. A lot of fucking things have been going on in sports this week. Um, of course, the college basketball tournament is going to be Sunday and Monday. They will reveal the brackets pretty much of who will be playing who. Of course, the conference championship games are being played right now for the men. Some are already punched their tickets. The MAC conferences and all of them are already punched their tickets. Atlantic 10 is playing right now. Pac-12 is playing right now. ACC, Big 12, SEC, Big 10. All of them are playing right now. Um, so uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to how this is going to play out. But the women brackets have kind of already decided. I mean, the women brackets have already kind of are finished, and actually, the women bracket is actually a little harder to judge than the men. To be honest with you, when you look at the women uh, college basketball tournament, it's gonna be a little bit harder to judge. You got of course Iowa with Caitlin Clark. You got Stanford, who's always a contender. Um, but Cameron Becker, I forgot her name, Brinken. Uh, so Stanford's always a contender. Of course, you got South Carolina, and that's just dominance over there. Of course, LSU. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you got USC, who is rolling right now. USC Trojans, the women's team, and Juju Watkins, the freshman herself, who is killing it, crushing it right now, man. They could be a dangerous fucking team when they get in the tournament. That team could be fucking dangerous. Um, cause you got UConn, who's always a fucking scary contender. Um, UCLA, who was pretty good this year. Colorado, who was pretty good this year. So Tennessee in the women's tournament, like there's some women's tournament, like the women's tournament is gonna be a little harder to judge than the men's. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's actually gonna be a little harder to judge. Now, when it comes to the men, to me, the three teams that I see that people are gonna be like, okay, these are the three number ones. Now, there's two conversations that should be happening right now. Who is the last one seed? Is it Tennessee? Is it you? North Carolina? Of course, you know me. North Carolina should be the number one seed. I'm like obvious. Uh, you know, um, Tennessee's good, but North Carolina is that shit. They're dangerous, man. That's a dangerous fucking team. They were bumpy this year, early in the year, but then they caught fire. And even the last couple of weeks, they kind of have had games where they kind of, I think, played down to the competition. And now I think they're finally realizing, like, no, we don't have to play down to the competition. The competition has to play up to us. I think they finally are figuring that out, which is a scary thing to know. But that is the other conversation. Should Tennessee or not? Who's the forward number one seed in the tournament? I watched ESPN. ESPN continues to say it's gonna be. They think it's Tennessee. I don't think it's gonna be Tennessee. I think it's North Carolina personally. Um, I think Tennessee in the SEC conference, if they run up against Kentucky, again. I think Kentucky could get them again. They just beat them literally last Saturday, so I think they could get them again. Uh, for UNC, watching them play today was just phenomenal. Them dudes are ready, man. Like they play Pittsburgh I think tomorrow. They play Pitt tomorrow in the semifinals, and then after that they play in the finals Saturday night. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, in the other conversation for the men's tournament should be the overall number one seed, which it seems like people are just like it's a given. It's Purdue, but I think Houston should be compensated for that too. Houston is dominant. Them dudes, first year in the Big 12, one of the most impactful conferences, Kansas, Baylor, Texas, Kansas State. Texas Tech is pretty good this fucking season. Like, you got some teams this year. TCU was pretty fucking good. Like, you got some teams in the Big 12, man, this year that definitely is good, and they only lost 3 games. They lost only 3 games in the Big 12 this year. Their first ever year in the Big 12, and they lost 3 games. And they're not considered the number one overall seed. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, bro. I get it. Purdue has the best player in the conference in college football. Great, but you're tripping if you tell me that Purdue is just the number one overall seed. Like, nah, 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 nah. I'm sorry. I've watched Houston the last couple weeks, man. Houston is just they're fucking dangerous, man. That's a dangerous fucking team, man. So I just feel like if I was the committee, it isn't just a given Purdue gets the number one seed, especially if they struggle in the Big Ten tournament at any moment. Now, it's the Big Ten. They don't really have which brings me to UConn too, because UConn is in the Big East and I know UConn plays I think St. Joe's tomorrow um in that semifinal for the Big East tournament. But UConn hasn't really played anybody, man. And UConn's gonna be a number one seed, and that's awesome. They're the defending champions, so great. Whatever. Um, I just feel like I feel like um UConn's gonna get tripped up. I think they're gonna be the one seed that gets tripped up. Actually, I think Houston's not gonna get tripped up. I don't think Purdue's gonna get tripped up. And if UNC gets the number one seed, I don't think they're gonna get tripped up anytime soon. But I believe that UConn is a team that's gonna get tripped up because they're the one team that really hasn't played any fucking body. Xavier, I guess, like Marquette, and usually the Big East is really good. Like the Big East usually have the Creightons and the Xaviers and the St. John's and the Seton Halls, and they usually have something. But you can't just walk through Marquette and all them this year. Like they just walk through them. Like, and I think when you really do start playing against teams that can actually go against you, it's not going well, man. It's not going well, man. But yeah, man, I think that yeah, I think that yeah, I think USC should be a number one seed, maybe the last number one seed, but I think Houston and Purdue should be actually a real conversation for the overall number one seed in college basketball. Now in the women's, that's pretty obvious. South Carolina, that's cemented. South Carolina is the number one seed in college basketball. Like that is in women's basketball. That's just obvious. Um, but yeah, man, it, it's just a little hard for me to believe that you just not gonna give North Carolina isn't a number one seed. That just it's shit. I get the record, but it's just like I'm looking at the teams coming into the tournament. UNC is just running through teams, where Tennessee is kind of struggling. I'm sorry, I don't. Nah, 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 nah. So baseball starts in 2 weeks. Me and my brother Juan talked about this last night on our show. Um, the Yankees are already fucked. Garrett Cole might need Tommy John surgery. Aaron Judge might not even start the season. And this is the one thing about the Yankees I said for a while. I said, as good as the Yankees look on paper, they don't have any pitching. So if you lose your ace, Garrett Cole, I don't know how the fuck you win this game. Like, I don't know how you win. I don't know how you win a game uh against I don't know how you even could be competitive this year. Because this is the one thing I kept screaming when people were saying, "Oh, look at the Yankees! They got so much hitting and they look good." And I was the one that said, "But they have no fucking pitching. They didn't go get no starting pitcher. They didn't go get anybody at the bullpen. They didn't do anything to really bolster that pitching rotation." And the fact of the matter is now your ace, the one you pretty much were depending on, your Cy Young winner, is now gonna probably not even play this season. Good fucking luck, Yankees. Good fucking luck. You might not even get out of shit. You might not even get. You might be lucky if you finish fourth in the AL East. You really might be lucky. Maybe in the beginning of the season you're gonna be good because it's the beginning of the season. Because nothing, you could catch some teams off guard. But by the time you get to, you know, June, July, where you can't catch people off guard anymore, and they know what you got, and they know how you switching it up, and they know this might be Eric Boone's last year as the manager of the Yankees. Not his fault, but this might be his last year as the Yankees general manager. I mean, manager. He's not like a. And David Roberts is also on a hot seat to me with the Dodgers because you can't keep putting motherfuckers on that team and you don't get to the World Series. Like you get to the playoffs, the NLDS, or maybe even if you're lucky, the NLCS, and then you get your ass bust by a team that just can pitch better than you, can outpitch you, and just can field better than you. And they just got to get on base. The thing about the Yankees and the Dodgers are they hit for home runs. Nobody hits to get on base. The reason for why the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks played last year in the World Series is because they weren't just pitching just to pitch. They were pitching with a purpose, and also the way they were hitting the ball. They didn't give a fuck if they had home runs. Look at the game they played against Phillies. Perfect example. Diamondbacks go to the Phillies. I think they were down 3-2 at the time in the series. They go to the Phillies, and everybody's like, "Oh, Philly is going to literally win this series. It's over. It's done." And then the Phillies could not hit a home run. Diamondbacks just kept getting on base, and that was the flipping of the series. And then they went to Arizona the next game, and Arizona beat that ass. Look at the Texas Rangers and the Astros. Same scenario. If you're trying to just hit for home runs, that's great. In the regular season, when you get into the playoffs, you're going to need somebody that can just get on base. Can you give me a single? Can you give me a double? Shit, can you give me a triple? The moment you can't do that, how am I supposed to trust you? The Yankees and the Dodgers build these teams every year to be great just to fucking fail in the playoffs. Why? Because you don't have significant hitters that can just get on base. You got a bunch of fucking home run hitters, but when the home runs don't work, now you looking very stupid. Eric Boone and David Roberts are both in the same clubhouse to me. Both cannot fuck up. Both cannot lose this season. Both of them cannot have both seasons go down the drain. The Yankees already look like they're fucked. And this is what I kept saying for a long time. as good as the Yankees look on paper, they didn't go get any significant pitching. They didn't do shit to help that bullpen. They didn't do anything. And now your number one ace could be out for the entire season with Tommy John surgery. And now you're going to be rushing to go get something just to put the bandage on. But you didn't cure the situation. I'm sorry. The Dodgers might make it to the playoffs. Congratulations. You're not winning the World Series. Now, I could be wrong. Totally 100% wrong. But I also feel like I've seen this Dodgers team before. I've seen this team before. I've seen them go get numerous people, big name contracts, do all of this shit. And then they go into the playoffs and they lose to the Phillies. Then they lose to the Cardinals. Then they lose to the Brewers. They lose to the Braves. I've seen it. The Nationals. I've seen it. I am looking forward to this baseball season. I cannot wait. Because one bubble might have just got burst. It's going to take a while before the other bubble get burst. But that's the beauty of baseball. Because as much as y'all keep pumping these teams, it's the actual teams that build through the draft, have a farming system that actually knows what the fuck they're doing. Like the Orioles, like the Tampa Bay Rays, like the Atlanta Braves, like the Astros. They're always going to find pieces. They're always going to find significant pieces out of nowhere. And now you're just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like the Diamondbacks. I did not expect Diamondbacks to get to the playoffs last year. They ended up in the World Series. Shit happens. But you keep pumping up these teams, you're going to find out. Damn. These motherfuckers, all they got is home run hitters. They don't have nobody that could get on base significantly every game. No. It's gonna work in the post. It's gonna work in the regular season. I have no doubt that the Dodgers are gonna win over 100 games, and they're gonna look phenomenal, and they're gonna look terrifying, and they're gonna get in the playoffs. And for 3 games, they cannot hit the ball, and everybody's gonna be like, "Well, what happened?" Because all they had was home run hitters. Nobody just to get on base. Just a bunch of fucking home run hitters. And the Yankees in the same fucking boat. Because they ain't not a mother. I have not seen one motherfucking person on that Yankees team that I've like they could hit at least a double, and I'll feel comfortable with that. Not one. last week, last week, Anthony Joshua fought Francis Ngannou. I don't think I talked about this. I don't think I even did a I Believe Sports episode last week. Did I? I think I did. But the question is being raised: should Francis Ngannou maybe stop boxing, go back to MMA because of how bad Anthony Joshua beat him? I think I did talk about this. I think I did, but here it is. Here's my feeling on it. I don't think Francis Ngannou needs to quit boxing. I think if you really want to box, then box. But Tyson Fury, I think, took him for granted. I think Tyson Fury stepped in the ring with that man and thought he could just beat him because he's the boxer. And he got his ass knocked the fuck down in that fight. Now, yes, I am one of them that's going to say Francis won that fight. Because every time he tagged Tyson Fury felt that shit. You could look in his eyes and say, oh, he felt that. But Francis stepped in the ring with Anthony Joshua, who wasn't surprised. He knows the power now you possess. So he trained for that. And he gave you a boxing lesson. Knocked your ass out. Now, some people will say that should be a lesson. Go your ass back to MMA. But now you know how it feels to be in a ring with a boxer. Not somebody that's just toying because they know how good of a boxer they are internally. They fought, you fought an actual boxer. Now, which brings me to Anthony Joshua. I think those losses have actually made him a better boxer. His loss to Ruiz, his loss to Usyk, his two losses to Usyk actually. Um, and I think if whoever wins Tyson Fury and Usyk, they fighting in October now. They pushed that fight back so many fucking times. I am not doing that fighting, but they're fighting so fighting sometime this year. I don't know when, but they're fighting sometime this year. When they do fight, the winner of that fight has to fight Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has built himself back up. I gotta give him this respect. Those fights he lost, he built himself back up. We used to clown on him and say, "Oh, that nigga don't want to fight Deontay Wilder." Now Deontay Wilder looks like a man that is already past his prime. Anthony Joshua actually got better as a boxer. I gotta give him his respect for that. Usyk and Fury fight. Now you do have a number one contender, and that man is Anthony Joshua. And that fight in 2025, 2026 will be fucking phenomenal. It could be him and Usyk 3, or finally we get the fight we've always wanted to see. Fury and Joshua, finally. Let's really see who's the better boxer between you two. I'm for it. I'm with it. Let's do it. Speaking of boxing, a lot of fucking talk, a lot of shit going on, a lot of craziness going on, a lot of shit going on in boxing, right? One thing is this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen when Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. I cannot tell you. I don't know. I'm watching Mike Tyson's clips now and seeing him kind of train for this fight. And if Mike Tyson actually goes in there like Mike Tyson, it's over in 3 rounds. It's over in 3 rounds. It's fucking over. If this fight drags on, Jake Paul could beat him. I'm gonna be honest. I am a boxing fan. I'm gonna be real with y'all. This shit lasts way more than 3 rounds. If Mike Tyson don't go for the kill immediately, Jake Paul could beat him. I know you don't want to hear that because you don't want to hear the truth. The truth is, Jake Paul is younger. Jake Paul has more of a stamina, has more stamina than Mike Tyson. Jake Paul could probably go all 10 rounds. I think it's going to be 10 rounds. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be 10 rounds. Yeah, going 12 is just ridiculous. Why would you do that? But I think it'll be 10 rounds. 3 minutes for 10 rounds. If you get past a certain round, Mike Tyson's age does kick in at some point. His stamina does kick in at some point. I get it. I get it. It's Mike Tyson. He's going to kill his kid. But a lot of Mike Tyson fights when he was dominant Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, only lasted like 2, 3 rounds. That shit only lasted like two. Bro, it's like Goldberg. I'm a wrestling fan, so it's like Goldberg. Nigga, you knew what you was getting in that fucking. Goldberg came out, did his spear, did his jack, did a couple moves, boom, 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 spear, jackhammer. He back in the locker room. It's like 2 minutes. Can't even piss. Can't even walk and take a piss in 2 minutes. Like that. Like, like, like that was Mike Tyson fights. You blink and you fucking missed it. Like that was Mike Tyson fights. I know you don't want to hear it because it's Mike Tyson. Nigga, no, nigga, Mike Tyson is going to kill his kid. Yes, if it goes 3 rounds. If you are going to just go in there and do Mike Tyson shit, boom, 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 beat the shit out of him, catch him, boom, boom, boom. If he gets the moment this shit goes past 3 to 4 rounds, stamina does play a part. Youth does play a part. I can joke, I can laugh. I know Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson. But eventually, his stamina is going to kick in. His age is going to kick in. I'm not saying Jake Paul will beat him outright, but if Jake Paul doesn't just go for, if Mike Tyson doesn't just go for the kill, then Jake Paul can control the fight by just jabbing and staying on the outside of his power. Don't give him any reason to engage like Mike Tyson. Jake Paul can win off of points. Now Jake Paul tries to go for a knockout, then he can get his ass whooped. That might not be the best. So this might be really Jake Paul's only time we might see him actually be a real boxer because he's gotta not box. He's gonna actually have to outbox Mike Tyson, and that's the only way you're gonna beat Mike Tyson. You have to box him. You cannot go pound for pound, punch for punch with Mike Tyson. We all know that shit. That's a death sentence. The fuck is wrong with you? Do not do that. You're going to lose. You're going to lose, sir. Don't do that. You you you're gonna lose, sir. That is a death wish. Don't do that. Don't try to think you're gonna outpower Mike Tyson. That shit just no. Now you playing it to his domain. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jab. Stay on the outside. Do not fucking engage with Mike Tyson. No. You know how they be like, don't feed a gremlin after midnight? Yeah, don't do that. Don't engage with Mike. Don't give him a reason to 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 hit your ass hard. Like, no. But if you go past 4 or 5 rounds with Mike Tyson, you can win that fight because you're boxing. You're not trying to force a real fight out of him. You're boxing him. You're outlanding him. You outbox him. That's the thing about Mike Tyson. If you ever watch the Mike Tyson fight, like I don't think people really understand this. Go watch old Mike Tyson fights. Matter of fact, go watch him when he fought the Evander Holyfields, when he fought the Buster Douglas, when he fought the Lennox Lewises. They didn't just engage. They didn't just knock Mike Tyson out. Mike Tyson could not outbox them. That's why he got his ass beat. He couldn't outbox them. Yeah, he can overpower them easily, but he couldn't outbox them. This is why I say if you are Jake Paul, you better outbox this man. You better find a way. This might be the first time we see Jake Paul actually be a boxer. The problem with that is that those first 2, 3 rounds, you're gonna be running for your life. Fucking first 2, 3 rounds. Hey, my nigga, you better pray. Cause Mike is gonna come at your fucking head. Oh my god, yo, it might get caught too. I'm not gonna sit up here because it's boxing. Anything can happen. Mike could get caught too, but for what Mike Tyson is, Mike might tag this fucking kid, bro. He might hurt this dude, bro. Like the first 3 rounds, first 3, 4 rounds, move around, nigga. Try use that age that you have. Use that youth. Yeah, man. Oh man. Um. Also, UFC. Uh. Sugar Shane O'Malley. I think is his name. um, broke somebody's fucking brain. Yo, that knee was so violent. Like that nigga, boom! I like, damn, how the fuck he survived that? Like, did you find out? Like, no, he actually he, he broke something in his body. Like, no, he that knee was violent, my nigga. Lord Jesus, listen, UFC is awesome. It's great. I haven't talked about it a lot because I haven't really because there's always a fucking pay per view every fucking week, so it's hard to kind of like catch you know a pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Like catch the pay per view, especially again, like I always say, like there isn't like a decisive number one guy anymore. Whereas like back in the day, it was Conor McGregor, it was John Bone Jones, it was Tito Ortiz, it was uh, Randy Couture. It was Chuck Liddell. It's no number one. It's Ronda Rousey shit. There is no Amanda Nunez. Like it's no more number one person. So you kind of have to find your number one. You have to find it. With your UFC. So it's kind of hard to kind of like jump into it as much as I used to watch the UFC. I need to get back to it. I really fucking do because it will help me do this show a lot more. Because I love, you know, UFC and shit like that. And I just went back and watched the Chuck and Tito, 30 for 30. And that shit was crazy to watch that shit. Um, but yeah, man. But UFC is always a great sport. Like I said, I just gotta sit and watch it. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta sit and watch that shit. So yeah. Um. But yeah. And of course, football. Oh, you football. Free agency is here. It is officially here. NFL league year started yesterday. It is officially the new NFL season, and free agency went fucking nuts. Like immediately Monday, it was like sign, 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 trade, release. Sign, 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 sign. It was fucking crazy. Today might have been the quietest day in free agency because there's pretty much nobody left. Like it's like fuck. Ah man, free agency was great. Noticeable moves is of course the obvious moves. Saquon Barkley to Philly. He talked today to the press. My thing with the Tiki Barber shit. Me and my brother Juan talked about this last night. And like I said last night, Saquon Barkley overall as a player, athletic wise, the overall ability of Saquon Barkley is better than Tiki Barber. Not saying Tiki Barber wasn't a great, not saying that at all. But Tiki Barber's had a vendetta against the Giants since he chose to retire, by the way. And then next year they won a Super Bowl without his ass. And he's been bitching and moaning and complaining about the Giants for years. I do believe that Tiki Barber don't like Saquon. He's been shitting on Saquon for years because he has. Ryan Clark goes on, the Pivot podcast today, and he's like, "Man, Tiki Barber been shitting on young players for years. He didn't like when we were there. Like, I believe Ryan Clark because that's been Tiki Barber's persona for years. He's been shitting on the Giants organization for years. He's the man that literally went out there and was like Eli Manning isn't even a leader. I told them they should have kept Kurt Warner as the starter. Like if Kurt Warner told the Giants organization, how the fuck you gonna draft this kid? You have to let him fail. Why are you gonna draft him and keep taking him out the game and putting me in it? You're creating a quarterback controversy. I don't want to be a part of this shit. That's commendable. That's a real leader. You bitching, moaning, and complaining is just ridiculous. I wonder was you bitch moaning and complaining when they gave Daniel Jones all that money last season for having 15 touchdowns, but you paying him $45 million guaranteed. The fuck? And now you want to say he's betrayed. He betrayed the team. He betrayed the Giants. Motherfucker, that's business, bitch. I don't know what the fuck you talk about. Motherfucker, that's business. If Philly gonna pay me, nigga, I'm going to Philly. Fuck you mean. Where was the loyalty? What was the respect when I have been in a part of that organization when you had nothing on offense? By the way, you still have nothing on offense. Saquon Barkley goes to Philly, and that's an amazing move for Philly. Congratulations. You deserve it. Derrick Henry is going to Baltimore. As you know, I done my shows, where I thought certain free agents should land. Derrick Henry to Baltimore was my first choice. I said that then. I thought it would be a great fit then. It's a great fit, man. Um, DeAndre Swift going to Chicago was pretty damn, pretty damn cool, man. It's a pretty good move to make for Chicago. I'm gonna get into that too, by the way. Um, Russell Wilson signed to Pittsburgh. Kirk Cousins signed into Atlanta, which, like I said to my brother Wine last night, Kirk Cousins' agent needs to be in the Hall of Fame so fucking where. I have no idea how you keep paying this motherfucker hundreds of millions of dollars for exactly what you know you about to get. Maybe a winning of the division. Maybe you win your division. Maybe you get a bye. But 9 out of 10, you're gonna either be the second or third seed, maybe the fourth seed in the NFC, and you're gonna get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Why? Because he is not primetime Kirk. But he keeps, and then this motherfucker's coming off of a torn Achilles. Nobody said that, by the way. No, not a motherfucking soul has said this nigga is coming off of a torn Achilles. He's coming off of a torn Achilles on the wrong side of 30. And we're sitting up here being like, Atlanta's gonna be good though. Look at that. I I I, I guess. I fucking guess. But that motherfucker's making bank. Congratulations, man. Um, what other moves were made? Patrick Queen going to Pittsburgh. That's a hell of a move. Josh Jacobs going to the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones going to the Minnesota Vikings. Zach Moss going to Cincinnati, which inadvertently made Cincinnati then trade Joe Mixon to Houston, who got paid today. That's just the running backs. Shit. Um, Desmond Ritter getting traded from Atlanta to Arizona, which Atlanta now has Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and Rondell Moore as receivers. Okay, I'm a little okay. All right, that's a little shaky for me for Atlanta, but okay. Michael Thomas got cut by the New Orleans Saints, which I am not like a lot of these Saints fans. I think it was a great move. You should have cut his ass 2 years ago, personally. Should have got rid of his ass 2 years ago. We keep acting like Michael Thomas is this great fucking receiver. But that got told my brother Juan last night. We keep showing fucking clips of him with Drew Brees. We keep acting like this is the same fucking dude. He hasn't been that dude in 4 fucking seasons. 4 fucking years. You should have been got rid of his ass. I'm happy he's gone. That's my personal opinion on it. Good. I'm happy he's fucking gone. The nigga been shitting on the organization for 4 fucking years. Bye, motherfucker. The fuck? Bye. Fucking delusional, man. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Ugh, good God Almighty. Calvin really robbed the bank. Tennessee paid Calvin really what the fuck it felt like. Fucking Calvin really robbed the bank. Fucking, this motherfucker got paid 4 years, $92 million. AJ Brown to Philly like You paid this nigga what? You paid this nigga what? Oh my god. You niggas are delusional. Um, fucking rob the bank. This nigga. Oh man. Some crazy moves. Desmond Ritter got traded. Sam Howell got traded. Desmond Ritter got traded to Atlanta. I mean Arizona. Sam Howell got traded to Seattle. Mac Jones got traded to Jacksonville. And if you again watch me on my brother Wine show Sunday, when that trade happened, I immediately said, if anybody sits up here and tries to tell me that now Trevor Lawrence should be worried about this move, you are crazy. Because I've seen Doug Peterson win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Mac Jones can definitely be Jacksonville's next quarterback. But y'all not ready for that conversation. So I'm gonna let y'all have that moment. Everybody's even move, and this is exactly what I've been saying. Washington doesn't want Sam Howell. They're going for a quarterback. Okay, bye. Atlanta got their quarterback. Bye. New England's like, look, bro, Mac Jones, you ain't it. Bye. But if you listen to the sports talk, why Justin Fields ain't traded? Why is it Justin Fields getting traded? This is what I was trying to say last night, and I'm gonna say it here. Justin Fields isn't being traded. It's actually easier now because Justin Fields isn't a starter anymore. Justin Fields isn't going to be the starting quarterback, right? So trade him. You don't have to be. He can go to a team like Seattle, which would have been a perfect place for him to go and duke it out with Geno Smith for the quarterback position. Perfect situation. You probably wouldn't go trade him to Jacksonville, okay? But Cleveland, you kind of need a backup. Deshaun Watson has been struggling for the last 2 years. He played last year and didn't do shit. You telling me Justin Fields with that offense wouldn't do shit? Joe Flacco got y'all to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure Justin Fields can do something with that offense. Pretty sure of it. I'm just saying. Cleveland could have traded for him. You could have got something for Cleveland. Shit. Who else? Saints? Raiders? Yeah, the Colts. It is the question that everybody's asking. Why isn't Justin Fields getting traded? Why isn't Justin Fields traded yet? Why is Justin Fields not traded yet? And Ryan Clark brought this up yesterday, and it's the best thing that I've heard. Finally being said. Finally, fuck. Which is, what if Chicago's not going to trade Justin Fields? What if they're going to keep the number one pick? What if they're going to trade the number one pick? And today with Washington's move of Sam Howell getting a second rounder and a fifth round pick, I know it sounds crazy, but Chicago and Washington could just swap picks. You go to one, I go to two. Maybe you do get a player, but most likely you probably just gonna get those picks. Now, can you probably maneuver and probably get a player perfectly? It should be that way, but I don't think you will. But if you get that two pick, if you get you just move down another pick, you get something out of it. And I don't think another thing, like I keep saying, is also this: if Caleb Williams is such this generational talent that everybody keeps screaming he is, then why isn't people calling to get the number one pick for him either? I haven't seen not a motherfucking soul call and try to go get the number one pick either. So maybe Caleb Williams isn't that guy. Maybe Caleb, and I know people are gonna sit here when that comes out and say, "Well, Caleb Williams didn't want to sit down with too many teams. That's his prerogative. That's his purpose. That's his prerogative. He could do that." 100. That's right. But now he's also in a hole where it's like you've also forced a lot of these teams to not really do any due diligence towards you. So whoever gets that number one pick, just because you were so cocky and so confident that you're going number one no matter what, it might be your own fucking downfall. By the way, me and my brother Juan will be doing our NFL draft picks and everything. This Sunday, starting this Sunday. We'll be talking about the Carolina Panthers, but we'll be making a pick for the Chicago Bears. So tune in for that. All sports, uh, all sports talk on Instagram and Jack's Wild Sports Show on YouTube channel. But until then, I am Brandon Janeau. This is I Believe Sports. Enjoy some basketball. Enjoy this rest of this crazy ass football week. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Until next time, peace.